Today is the day that I say goodbye to my Breville Dual Boiler. And what I mean by that is I'm moving it out of my house and I'm putting it fully dedicated into my office because I can't really find myself to fully get rid of the machine. However, I just haven't found a good place for it in my house. I found in my downstairs coffee bar, which is where we're at now and where I film all these videos, that I rarely use it when I test machines and different things like that or grinders. And I think it would be better served in my office where I would serve more people, make more drinks. And I'm going to move my Flare 58 Plus in here for testing different grinders and machines like that. I can add a Bluetooth transmitter on it and hook it up to an Akai scale and have statistical readouts for everything, giving me all the information that I want. So today I'm going to go over a little bit of why I'm not getting rid of the Breville, but why I've thought about it so many times. But first I want to go over the features of this thing, starting off at the fact that this is a $1,600 machine. It has quite a bit of stuff that is packed in for that small amount, which sounds like a lot of money, but for what you get, it's really a good value. So with it, you get a 58 millimeter razor that comes from Breville, and what that does is in your portafilter, when you have grounds in there, you just simply spin that razor around, and that will help give you the correct dose that you need. It's always better to use a scale. You are going to get a couple different stainless steel portafilters, not the one included, but a double spout and a single spouted one. You'll get a tamper that is magnetic and sticks into your machine over here. You're going to get a 16-ounce milk jug that's really nice, a cleaning kit, a bunch of different single wall and double wall baskets for pre-ground coffee, and if you have a grinder, water filter holder, and water test hardness, all that stuff. It's built out of stainless steel. As you can see, I'm reading this on here. We got two stainless steel boilers on the inside, one for the steam and one for the brewing. It holds 84 ounces of water. You have a lot of different options on here. You can do a double shot, a single shot, and you can control and adjust the amount of volume that you want out of it, or you can manually start and stop it, which is honestly what I do 99% of the time. It's a very good machine. It has a temperature PID that you can control that's on this screen as well. The milk texturing is very good on it. It's got a pressure gauge LCD screen on there as well, and it has an espresso shot clock that goes onto the screen when you start pulling your shot. This machine has been an absolute workhorse and absolutely incredible. I want to go over a few other features here. You can see the water indication on the inside here. The drip tray has an empty me feature on it, which when you fill up the water, a little thing that says empty me comes up on here. You can store your tools in here, which I never do, and you can simply lift up the machine and put it on casters to roll it around in order to move it, and it has a water tank on the back that you can fill up, and you can see that right here. Nice huge water tank. But the unique thing that Breville has done versus other machines is they also have a thing on the top here where you can load in your water from the top to make it a little bit easier, and you don't have to actually get the water tank out. I find that works fairly good. It could be sloped a little bit more, and it also has a cable that can be stored mostly in the machine, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. There's a couple modifications to mine that's not normal on a machine, and they are pretty obvious with the wooden handles here. So I have a wooden handle to control the steam, and I have the wooden handle to control flow rate. So I did a modification to this machine where I have removed this hot water tap here, so that's no longer working, and I have made it so you can control the flow rate of the water coming out of the group head, and that is why this machine is so darn hard to get rid of. Very good, it's very consistent, and you can really manipulate your shots, so if you mess up on your grind setting, you are still fine and you are still good to go. The last thing I did is I added the switch bot here, which I need to put back on, and that presses the button whenever I feel like it via Bluetooth, or I can set it to turn on certain days a week so it's ready for me whenever I get to said place. It's a very good add-on feature. I don't like the stainless steel personally. I really wanted the black version, but it was not available at the time, so I tried to vinyl wrap it and it did not go very well. So I went back to stainless steel and I got these custom wooden handles for my bottomless portafilter and my flow control and the steam wand from Etsy, which I'll link all of that below in the description. Also, I want to take a time to just say, if you like this video and you find this interesting, please like and subscribe, because I have another video featuring this machine coming up very, very soon, and you're not going to want to miss out on it. I also have a Patreon account. You can support me there if you're looking at purchasing this. Use the affiliate link below. I'll make a small commission and no extra charge to you. Going back into this machine, it just has so much packed into it that it's really, really hard to let go of. And I find this flow control, I tested it with using an Akai lunar scale, and I simply just put an empty cup on it, and I messed around to see how much control I had over the flow rate of the machine, and I could get it down to, and this again would change a little bit when you have coffee in there because there'd be more resistance, but I can control the flow rate of the water with no portafilter in there from all the way off to about 7 grams, somewhere in there, which is quite the range of flow control for this machine. And you cannot really get that with flow control add-ons for other machines. It's not that high of a range in my experience. We're going to get more on that in another video. The reason why I've never was super sold on this, I think it's one of the best machines out there that somebody can buy for their home because of all the features packed into it, especially if you do that mod where you can control the flow rate. But the build quality has not been there for me. This machine, I can't remember off the top of my head how much it weighs, but it's very easy to move around, and it feels like it's very easy to move around. Stainless steel is just a thick layer of stainless steel over a ton of plastic casing on the inside. None of this is really meant to be replaced. It's meant to be more completely repurchased, basically. That being said, like, people say that the build quality and all that stuff is terrible on it and it's not going to last you forever. That's also not fully true. I had one that was lasted 9 years before I broke it doing some modifications to it. So these things really do hold up for a long time if you use good water in it, and that takes care of it. But I'm pretty sure the person that I bought it used from never descaled it, never really cleaned it or anything like that. Just based off of the way that they were teaching me how to use it, indicated to me that they didn't really know much about the machine. But I was able to get it at a very low price as a result of that. But it just, like, based off of other machines that I can get around this price point, and that one would be the Rocket Apartamento, which is slightly more expensive, it just doesn't feel near as well built as that. Everything is like inside the drip tray here, it's all plastic. It's all thin stainless steel over plastic, and it just doesn't feel the greatest to use for everyday use. Now, it's still great, and it's still, the problem is the shot quality is there, the quality of the milk is there, the quality of your overall, like, in cup results is there in this machine. The use and features and convenience is all there, but the joy using it is not there. But it's so good, and it would arguably pull better shots than the Rocket Apartamento. I just can't. It's just hard for me to keep utilizing this machine for my dream one at home. So I replaced it with something else. This is the perfect office machine because it does have that volumetric control, which is super nice because it'll stop your shot for you while you are steaming milk, so it's one less thing to worry about. It's a very good machine. I've absolutely loved my time with it. I've been debating on selling it for so many years. Actually, I've only owned it for, I think, 3 years now. But I've been debating on letting it go just because it just doesn't feel that great to use. It doesn't feel terrible, but it has the name Breville on it, and that shows. And it's just, Breville makes really good machines in my opinion, but they just don't feel premium. It's like buying a base level model of a car. Like, it's a great car, but it doesn't give you that wow factor that you would get with getting a higher trim level on a vehicle. It's kind of the same thing in this. When it comes to making coffee at home, I think one of the most important things for me is the enjoyment of using it in the morning. If it's not something that I enjoy using in the morning, it's just not as great of a morning experience for me. I would rather have something with maybe a little bit less features, but something that I wake up every morning to and actually look forward to turning on and grabbing the portafilter, locking it in, and pulling my shot of espresso, and it just be a very enjoyable experience. And that hasn't fully been here. Hasn't been bad. I would say it's like 75% to what I would want it to be, but I found a machine that's a little bit better. and you're gonna have to wait, and you'll see that in the next video. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this machine. Do you have any questions on this? Like I said, I've had 3 years of ownerships. This modification has been great, and overall this machine has been great, but the build quality just hasn't been quite there for me. Thank you so much for watching.